How will these overnight cues impact the Indian markets? We have our team of researchers at CNBC-TV18 joining in with the trade setup and the stocks that are likely to be in the news. First up, we have Vivek Iyer, who's joining in to get us all the market cues we need to watch out for today. Good morning, Vivek. What do you have for us?
Well, good morning. Like you mentioned, the overnight setup as well as the kind of cues that we're seeing from Asian markets and markets that have opened earlier than us indicate a very muted start for our own markets. It'll be important to see whether the Nifty breaches key technical levels in today's trading session. But just revising, what we've heard so far as global markets are concerned. Dow Jones has turned negative for 2023. Yesterday, a steep sell-off. All U.S. indices lower between 1.3 to 1.9%. Also, significant selling pressure seen over there. The VIX also saw significant rise in yesterday's trading session. Oil prices, yesterday rebounded from the 3-week lows. Brent futures now trading closer to the $90.6 a barrel mark. Indian markets, yesterday's trading session in tandem with the global markets did see quite a bit of a sell-off. However, Nifty managed to hold on to the 19,500 range. Now, frontline indices ended with cuts, but actually the broader end of the markets held up quite well and in fact managed to close in the green. Metal and auto stocks were among the top drags in yesterday's trading session. Some of the important events to keep an eye out for. Remember, there's a new listing today. Updater services will, make its debut on the exchanges. Apart from that, some of the other IPOs, so Plaza Wires, Valiant Labs, all of these IPOs have seen strong subscription despite the kind of volatility we've seen in the markets. Apart from that, the Gift Nifty is indicating a slightly muted start for our own markets.
It is indicating a slightly muted start. Thanks for that, Vivek. The one thing that I need to highlight here is that 19,500 is where the Nifty is right now. It's almost like a make or break level because it has not closed below that level since the 1st of September. Now over to Surbi, who will list out the stocks to watch out for in today's trading session. Morning, Surbi. I'm sure you have a very long list with you today.
That's right. It's a long list. So let's start with IDFC First Bank. The CNBC-TV18 news break is confirmed. IDFC First Bank launches its first QIP to raise up to 3,000 crores. The base size will be 2,000 crores and a green shoe option is available of 1,000 crores. The indicative issue price is of 90 rupees per share, which is a 4% discount. Next is HDFC Bank. That will be on our radar on the back of a rejig in their top management. A slew of Q2 business updates coming in. Avenue Supermart standalone revenue from operations is at 12,300 crores. V-Mart, the total revenues were up 8% at 550 odd crores. Bajaj Finance, the new loans booked in Q2 were up 26% on a year-on-year basis and the deposits booked were up 39%. Bank of Maharashtra, deposits were up 22% and gross advances were up 24%. RVNL, the company emerges as the lowest bidder for a project worth 445 crores. And some other companies which will be on our radar on the back of some Q2 updates will be South Indian Bank, CSB Bank, Yes Bank, Vedanta and APL Apollo Tubes.
Plenty of stocks there. Thanks a lot, Surbi, for joining in, and we'll keep an eye out on all of these stocks. And lastly, now we join in by Nigel D'Souza, who is with us for the FNO setup of the day. Morning, Nigel. Too many negatives to ignore. What do you have for us?
Well, almost good to see you in on Power Breakfast, and look forward to more of the same. Well, yeah, too many negatives to ignore. Actually, if you're looking at the global setup, it's a little bit muddled. It's giving you a little bit of an uncomfortable feeling actually in the near future. Now, yesterday, what happened? We ended lower. There appeared there was some shorting on the Nifty because the open interest was high and we had the Nifty that was lower. But on the Nifty Bank, there was some unwinding of long positions. What do the FIs do though? The FIs, they continue to add short positions and now their short positioning has gone up to around the mid-70s or to around 76% or thereabouts. And gradually from the start of the series, we're only 3 sessions in. But the short positioning has gradually been moving up and it's now at around 85,000 contracts odd. And this is the matter of just 3 sessions. Well, let's focus on the options data. The 19,600, the 550 call, both of them were fairly active. So on the 19,600 call, at the start of the day, the premium was around 100 rupees. So you add that 100 to around 19,600, you get 19,700, which is a bit of a resistance zone. Also, the 19,550 call, that as well saw a good amount of open interest build up yesterday, and the premium at the start was around 150 rupees. So that's telling you this 19,650, 19,700, that's going to be an important resistance zone. On the downside, though, I'm going to be looking at the 19,450. I was hearing what you had to say, and yes, we are going to be starting below that level, but on a closing basis, I think the bulls will want to try to defend that mark. We saw 19,500 put that as the highest open interest. Premium was roughly around 50 rupees. That ended at around 30 rupees. So keep an eye out on that front. But the Nifty Bank, that could be the swing factor today. The IT index could be a little bit under the weather going by what happened on the NASDAQ. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that front. The resistance is at around 44,800, while on the downside, the recent low of around 44,000 should be a level that you're looking at. Gift Nifty suggests a pullback on a closing basis. You like to look at around the 19,450 and also keep an eye out on the Nifty Bank. Back to you.
19,500 and 19,450, the two levels to watch out for. Thank you so much for that, Nigel. We'll keep an eye out on both these levels. Let's slip into a break now. Up next, HDFC Bank rejigs its top management after the merger with HDFC. We get you all the details right after the short break. Stay tuned.